Brian and Carrie Live. Get over here, because this is front row center. And we're going to start talking now about some surprise topics to make this the greatest holiday. James is going to count us in on that camera over there as well.
It's rolling.
James says we're rolling.
We're rolling everywhere. We got like 4 cameras in the house. Can I just chime in?
Of course.
If we get fuzzy on the camera, just pop a message and say that, you know what, the video is a little bit fuzzy, just so we know, but be patient. We're taking care of that situation.
Yeah, it's a Wi-Fi thing.
Yeah, we're taking care of it.
So no worries, okay? But I actually have one quick topic regarding making this the holidays, these holidays the best, before we get into the family one. And so I'll say this, it was about 4 or 5, 6, I'd say 5 years ago now, 6 years ago now, we decided to stop purchasing presents for our kids.
We did.
Which when the kids are 5 and 7 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
interesting.
Well, it could have been challenging, but it wasn't. And here's why it wasn't challenging. And this is actually part of the surprise topic. Kids are not stupid. Okay, so they're little people with brains and emotions and all that. And yes, they have to learn. And of course, that's all part of conditioning. But too many parents and adults think kids are dumb.
I agree.
And they shield them, they shelter them, and they don't articulate. They don't talk to their kids about this and that. So we had a nice conversation with our kids. And we said, look, you guys, we're not going to buy Christmas presents this year, and here's why.
Right.
This is the reason. Because a lot of kids end up just expecting their parents or Santa Claus. Our kids, by the way, I should qualify, they had stopped believing in Santa Claus already.
Right, yeah.
Pretty much long before this conversation.
Yeah.
But too many kids expect their parents to purchase them things. And we don't want you growing up having that expectation. In fact, what we want to do is make the holidays special in a different way. We want you and us to work together to make other people's holidays special. So we basically gave them control. And it was the most beautiful thing. 5 and 7 years old, okay? We said, look at our community. Look at our neighborhood. Look at everything around where we live. Who do we want to help make this a special holiday, and how do we want to do it? And we kind of charged them with the duty of starting to figure that out. Yeah. Within a couple of days, Chase had the idea. You got to understand Chase. Chase, from the time that he was 6, has wanted to serve in the armed forces. He's now 13. And he's done. He still wants to serve in the armed forces. He always talks about he wants to work for Brian&Carrie Live after he's done with his army duties, which I think is awesome.
It's amazing. I agree.
It really is.
I love it.
But he had the idea of, why don't we make this a special holiday for the firemen, the firewomen, the policemen, the policewomen, and any of the army service people who are in our community. Right. Why don't we make it special for them? And this is what he said. He goes, guys, because they protect us, so we should do something nice for them. Melted my heart, right? And I think it was like the exact moment that Maya, who was 5, said, let's bake them cookies. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So in a flash, Christmas stopped being about what our kids expected to receive. And on their own accord, their own desire, their own opinion, they decided to make that Christmas for them about how we wanted to help, do something nice for the people who serve us. Right. And therefore we're going to make them cookies. Yeah. And so we did. Yeah. And not one tear was shed, not one argument was had, not one strained moment occurred. We talked to the kids every night. Now, guys, are you sure you're happy with this? We're not getting presents this year? Yes, Mom.
Because we didn't want it to be our choice. We wanted it to be.
This is so much better. On the inside, it feels so good. Because they were young. It's like the articulating was that, basic, right? But we did on Christmas Eve that year. Yep. We baked for the entire day. Maya and I baked.
They were the funniest looking cookies by the time Maya decorated them.
Right? Maya and I baked. Chase and Maya decorated. And then you and Chase kind of wrapped everything up in the individual, right? So we loaded the car up at around, 6 or so in the evening on Christmas Eve. And then we drove. And where we live in downtown Montreal, there are no fewer than 5 or 6 police and fire, what are they called?
Stations?
Stations, wow. within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So we went to all of them.
Yeah.
And we let Maya and Chase hand out and say thank you for protecting us and blah blah blah. And it's not changed since.
No, absolutely.
We have not. I don't believe we've bought one Christmas present for these kids in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what we do now is experiences, which we could talk about in a second as well.
Absolutely.
But that is a surprise topic to consider. Now, it's not a new topic. It's not like we're the first parents to say these kinds of things. But I think the topic that I'm trying to key in on, the part of this topic that I'm trying to key in on, is that don't tell your kids what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Have them become part of the evolution, the solution of what they
Right.
want to do.
Involved.
Then they own it.
Yeah.
And now it's something they just can't get enough of. I might add, that was when Maya was 5, Chase was 7.
Right.
This year, Maya's 11, Chase is 13, and they can't wait for Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Because we intend to do the exact same thing like we have every year.
Right. So I mean, it's like my favorite tradition, right?
Sure,
but
me too.
I want to say, I'm going to add a couple of things because there was one year we bought them a gift.
Okay.
And the reason I'm telling this part of the story, because we all have horrible memories, right? So,
True.
but the reason I'm saying this is because there was one year. It's been 7 years now that we've been doing this. But there was one year we decided, we are going to get them something.
Yep.
And because we actually wanted to get them like these little TVs for their rooms.
Oh
right?
yeah, I remember that.
So
Oh,
we
that's
got them,
great. Yes,
right?
Yeah.
So we got them a TV for their room. But the reason we're telling you this, or I'm telling you this, is because it was the most amazing thing to see the look on their face when they received it.
Yeah.
Talk about the true spirit of receiving a gift.
Yes.
They were blown away. They
Yeah.
had no expectation of it. And then, the funny thing is that was probably 3 years ago. You would have almost the thought that that would have set the path for them expecting it every year again,
Sure,
right?
sure.
But they've never once asked us again for can we have a present, or this is what I want for Christmas? And
Right.
what we've made insofar as our Christmases together as a family, like you said, experiences, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. We take the kids, like this year, for example, we're home until Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So on Christmas Eve, we will, we're going to bake cookies and we're going to have time all together.
Yeah.
And then Christmas Day, we leave for Arizona for a couple of days.
That's right,
And
yeah.
and it's just an experience to get to be a part of the world and see things and breathe things
We
in.
try to travel with the kids. That's our kind of present to them. It's it's experiencing the world. I want to add, you mentioned that we sometimes don't have great memory. So I didn't remember
Right.
that we actually purchased them a TV for their rooms.
Sure.
And that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But here's something you left off the story. I wonder if you've forgotten. When the kids came home that day, we had gone out to buy the TVs. Mm-hmm. The kids came home from school that day. It was like a week before Christmas.
Yeah.
And the TVs in their box, they were still in the box, were sitting on our couch. And as soon as they walked in the door, I said to Maya, "Oh, these TVs." And her immediate response was, "Oh, they're probably for Ethan and Ariana."
Oh, that's right.
So they automatically assumed that these TVs we had bought
For my niece and nephew.
For your niece and nephew.
Yeah.
And then they proceeded to help us wrap these TVs
How funny
for
is
their
that?
cousins.
How funny is that?
And then that night, because I don't know, I'm the biggest kid in the world, so it was a week before Christmas, and while we were wrapping, the kids were helping wrap their own TVs, and they didn't know it was their TVs, and that night I finally said to you, I was like, can we just tell them it's their TVs? I can't wait till Christmas morning. So we gave it to them that night, and they, were elated.
Absolutely.
But that's an example, they didn't even think twice that we had got TVs for their cousins. They helped us wrap it. And all these are very nice. I'm sure Ethan's going to love
Absolutely.
this.
Yeah. First of all, that got all kinds of hearts and likes, and everybody is chiming in on how great this is. Loria commented about the fact that she does something similar with her nephew as well.
I love that.
But I just want to make this little note to everybody. Brian doesn't do well with surprises.
No, I really don't.
If he has a surprise, the only surprise in 7 years that you have kept was our wedding.
That was a hard one.
Let's face it, it's a pretty significant
But
surprise.
that was a hard surprise to keep.
But
man.
he's so bad on either side. So if he has a surprise, he's like, can I give it? Can I give it? Can I give it? And on the other side of that, if I have a surprise, if I have something that's a surprise for Brian, I do not tell him.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest thing in the world to do. But if I tell him, he will bug me until I just give in.
I know how to grind the gears just enough
and
so
tell
that
him.
she finally just tells
So
me.
and so much so that I don't even tell the kids, especially Maya. if I have a surprise for you, because he'll get it out of her.
I will.
Such a little
I know how to
child.
grind my excuse perfectly.
Oh, man.
So with that, listen, the surprise topic that we want to introduce with that particular story is this, right? We all know it philosophically. We all believe it in our hearts, but do things to make this holiday not about expectations.
Yeah.
Do something the exact opposite. Involve your family in helping others as a matter of principle. But I'm sure that through charity and donations and volunteer, a lot of people watching already do that. But what we're really strongly suggesting is take the expectation game out of the equation for the holidays, because when we are conditioned as kids to expect things, we grow up to become adults who expect things. And that's a dangerous entitlement game to play. Very dangerous game. We all think that Christmas is just kind of like kids' fun. It can be a very challenging thing to grow out of.
Oh, absolutely.
Mentally, when we get older, right? And my dad I love my dad for a billion reasons, but one of the reasons I love him so much is because he ingrained in me at such a young age quotes that I still remember. And he said to me from the time I could walk, he always said to me, success, how does exactly he phrases it? Something like, success is easy for people who don't expect other people to help them be successful.
Right. I love
right? That's like an example of the expectation or the entitlement game.
I love that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I just read back to Loria's message, and what she said was her gift to her nephew was 200 warm blankets and socks to give to homeless shelters.
Absolutely gorgeous.
What a beautiful thing.
It's gorgeous. I don't want to stay on the topic of our kids, but
Why not?
I'm excited to tell everyone who's watching right now, no matter where you're watching. By the way, you, over there.
They're behaving well because there's only 7 people over
Yeah,
there.
but the 7 people, get over here. That's the cheap seats. So Facebook.com, Brian&Carrie Live, puts you here.
Yeah.
Not over there.
Come and join us live over here.
Why?